don't think a lot of people understand like how tiring it is for your body. So I feel like working out helps you be able to go through the whole weekend, like any type of working out.
My name is Adriel Loshak, and the goal of this channel is to help cornhole players achieve whatever level of cornhole they choose, whether that's simply to win more at your local blind draws or, like me, become an ACL Pro.
My name is Nicole Pratt. I'm an ACL Pro, and I'm sponsored by BG Cornhole, All the Hype Cornhole, Shot Kings Cornhole, and JTB Photography.
And what do you love about this sport?
Being able to travel to places that I would never go to and meeting awesome people. The cornhole community is like a great group of people, and that's what I love the most.
What's the most interesting place that you've traveled to so far?
The coolest place that we've gone to, I guess, would be Vegas, just because I've never gone to Vegas and I like gambling and sightseeing and walking, so that was like the perfect place for me for a tournament.
What was your journey to become a cornhole pro?
So I got into cornhole in 2019. My boyfriend, Timmy Jonas, he became a pro in 2020. So I would travel and watch him play in tournaments. I would go to all the nationals. So for the first 2 years, I was like watching him, recording his games, doing his social media for him. And as I'm going to these tournaments, I'm like, well, I could play too, like I feel like I could like if I got better, I could probably hang with these girls and some of the pros too. So then I decided to like try to get better at cornhole and see if I could qualify through the pro qualifier or do well in some women's tournaments. And then in 2000, what is it? 2 years ago. So 2022, I became an ACL Pro.
Congratulations. Quickly, guys, if you'd like to support the channel even more than watching videos, please subscribe. So I'm in the process of getting good enough to do that myself. What was your most meaningful match?
The pro qualifier, the first time that I played in it, because I lost every single game. So it was I finished it out because I want to be that person that just leaves. I wanted to finish out all 8 games. I know they do it now different with 2 different waves, but when I first did it, it was you play 8 games. So my last match, I lost. And that was the most meaningful game because that's when I decided that I wanted to become a pro. Like that day was my decision making. Like, do I want to continue this and get better, or am I done and just going to be someone that watches and travels to support my boyfriend and be okay with that? So
I love that. I'm getting goosebumps. The only time you fail is when you quit. And at that moment in time, you said, this is what I want. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to go until I succeed, which that is one of my big philosophies. So I love that.
Yeah, that was the whole day was that.
How often do you practice?
Every day. So when I've taken some time off just because I haven't gone to a lot of tournaments because I started a new job. I didn't have PTO to go to anything. So I just kind of like took a little break, but I'm back into it. And when I'm in it, I practice every single day.
And what does your practice consist of?
So I practice with Timmy. So he's like a really good person for me to practice against. So I'll do like hole for hole. That's where I start at. And then I probably do that for about 30 minutes. And then I'll take 15 minutes he'll put up a bag for me and we'll work on pushes. And then we'll also do the same thing for airmails. So that's like an hour practice time. Like if I don't have a lot of time in the day, that's like my practice routine. If I have more time, like obviously we do that longer. And then sometimes we end playing games just closer to tournaments, like a national. That's when we'll play one-on-one games.
Everybody knows the best way to get good at anything is to practice. If you'd like to practice more cornhole, but you don't know where to start, you get bored of practice, or you've hit a plateau, click the link below for our free practice guide. Depending on when you watch this video, it's either going to be a free practice guide or a full-on practice app with over 15 different games to improve your cornhole ability. Regardless, click the link below, download the guide, and start making every shot you should. I've watched a couple of your videos. I love your practice setup. I would love to be able to put something like that in my backyard. Describe what it is for people who don't watch your videos.
Yeah, it's called So we call it the Dome. It's in our backyard. It is really nice to have because we live in Cleveland, Ohio, and it snows, rains, wind. So we put it up about 5 years ago, and it's lasted ever since. The only downfall is that we have trees in the back that they fall through sometimes, so we'll just have to patch a hole in the top. But yeah, it's just the big dome, and we have a set of boards in there, a speaker, a fan for the summer.
A heater for the winter?
Oh yeah, there is a heater in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's actually the brand that we got is called Shelter Logic, and they have it on Amazon.
How much was that?
That was 3,000.
So it's
Yeah,
it's quite of an investment.
it is, but like if you have nowhere else to throw and you have this, I mean, if you want to throw in your backyard, like it just made sense for us, for both of us. So
You meet an opponent for the first time. You don't know how they play, but you know they're good because they're pro level. First bag, slide in or block.
oh, slide in, always. First bag, always in the hole.
Is there a general or go-to strategy that you do? Let's say you're equally matched.
I normally just do hole for hole. That's my strategy. I try to wait it out until they miss and then take advantage when they do miss so I can try to score as many points as possible. Especially in women's, you really want to take advantage because most of the girls just do hole for hole. But in pro singles, like when you're playing everyone, I hole for hole, that's my strategy, and have my airmail down in case I need an airmail. But like I said, we work on pushes too, so like I feel like when it's necessary to push, but if they lay a blocker and I have my last bag, they don't have any left, I'm gonna airmail.
What would it take for you to be ranked number one women's 2 years from now?
Oh gosh, what would it take? It would take a lot more practicing than I do now, and I feel like I practice a lot, so I just have to dedicate 10 times more. Yeah, I mean, I would love to be at the top of like the top one of the top women's players one day. So, and yeah, last year was my first pro year and I feel like I did pretty well, so I see it happening at some point.
Do you prefer singles or doubles?
I prefer doubles, but I'm better at singles. Yeah. I like doubles because you have a partner and it's fun. It's just like nice to have someone on the other end. So like if you do mess up, I can rely on my other person to pick me up when I'm down. I know a lot of people don't say that, but like when I have good chemistry with my partner and like I know I can rely on them, I just love that type of game. But I am a better singles player, and I think that's because I was a gymnast my entire life, and gymnastics is an individual sport. Like we were on a team, but it was mostly individual competing for yourself. So I think that's why I'm better at singles.
I'm a retired gymnast myself.
Are you really? Cool.
I retired junior year of college. Body woke me up at 4 a.m. and it was like, you can go through one more year of pain, but what kind of long-term effects is that going to have on you? So it was time to retire after my junior year. How far did you get into gymnastics?
I was a level 10 and I just did it until I graduated high school. I wanted to do it in college, but I couldn't afford to go to college. So, and I didn't have like a scholarship. I could have done a walk on and then a hopeful scholarship, but I didn't want to do that, put myself in thousands of dollars of debt. So that was the end of my gymnastics career, but I really loved it and I miss it.
I'm actually not a competitive person.
Oh, really? You're not?
Yeah, I'm truly not a competitive person, but I like training hard and then proving what my training has done. So I've had to actually change my mindset and change how I think about things to turn myself into a competitive person.
Okay. That's interesting. That's hard to do.
Yeah. Is there anything you do to prepare for a long cornhole day?
Yeah, actually. So for if I know we're gonna have like a 4-day weekend of cornhole, we get massages. That's a must. I get a massage before every national. And I guess just staying hydrated, working out, like cardio the week of, because it's a lot of cornhole. And I don't think a lot of people understand like how tiring it is for your body. So I feel like working out helps you be able to go through the whole weekend. Like any type of working out, just some type of strength and cardio.
I came to this conclusion like a couple months ago where I'm in a super pressure situation. I'm sweating. My heart is going 120 beats a minute, but I'm just standing there. And then how can I simulate this? Because blind draws don't do it for you. Don't do that to me. What can I do to simulate this? So I started going on a 15-20 minute jog and then playing
Mhm.
a ghost game and then doing another 15-20 minute jog and then doing a ghost game. So getting myself to, okay, how do I lower my heart rate? How do I deal with the sweat rolling down my face?
Yeah, that's super important. And I don't think a lot of people think of that kind of stuff. And I've done stuff very similar to that. So I totally understand. And it really helps with the pressure.
What is your exact exercise routine?
Well, like I said, I'm a gymnast. So I've always worked out. Like my entire life, I've worked out. But lifting weights and then just walking on the treadmill.
I want to get in the weeds. What is your
Oh,
exercise
the
program?
details. Okay. Like we do different things every day. Mondays, I want to do legs 3 days a week. So Mondays, leg day, squats, RDLs, lunges, and then maybe some machines. And then that's cardio itself. So I just don't do anything after that. But like Tuesdays, we'll do back and biceps, pretty simple, like with the machines or the pull down stuff, weights for biceps, and then probably like 15, 20 minutes walking on a treadmill. I like to do on an incline because it's supposed to work your butt more apparently. And then Wednesday again, legs. And I'll like throw in a mix of some different things just from like what I see on TikTok or whatever, just to make it like not boring. And then Thursday, chest and triceps. And then I'll go to the bench and weights too. And then Friday, finish up with some legs. Saturday, cardio day. Unless I have a tournament, then we don't work out on like Friday night or Saturday.
Makes sense. How do you deal with the pressure that anytime anybody goes up against you, you're going to get their best game?
I feel like that happens a lot. So I think I'm used to it now. But I really just focus on myself in a game, if that makes sense. Like I'm not worried about what my opponent is doing because I'm just assuming that they're going to throw every bag in the hole. So that's what I need to do. And when they do miss, that's just when I take my opportunity. It's not
Mhm.
always going to go the way I want it to, but like that is my initial goal, obviously. And I just try to stay calm and focus on myself for the pressure moments.
What are your dreams and goals?
My dream for cornhole would be to obviously finish top in a pro bracket, and I would love to be like a top 5 women's player. So I guess I don't have like a specific, like obviously I would want to be like the best women's player, but I don't know when. But that would be like long-term goal.
Is there anything else you'd like to add or share?
I probably just want to point out that like cornhole is not as easy as people think it is, even though it might look easy. And I think like everyone has their different ways of getting good at cornhole. Like my way is, I think practicing works best, like for me, but that might not work for someone else. Like someone else might like going to blind draws and that might help them more, or just like the way that you practice. So everything that like I told you throughout this interview, like that just works best for me. And I think everyone should find what works best for them.
If you liked this video, please subscribe. Also, click the link below for a free practice app and start making every shot you should.